Today on Studio G's Friday Magazine Show, we're starting off with our top stories of downtown entertainment, bowling awareness, and burlesque dancers. You're watching the Friday Magazine Show, and it starts right now. Welcome to our Friday Magazine Show, where we recap the top stories of the week, and I'm your host, Kyle Root. With a month full of monsters, our reporter Jordan Lorenzo took a look at what a new beast, the Slotzilla. The Slotzilla is in downtown and is the perfect place for our students to soar.
Slotzilla is Las Vegas's newest and tallest zip line. It's a 12 stories high slot machine-inspired design that gives locals and out-of-towners the ride of their life. Unlike other zip lines, it has two different heights and speeds and allows you to go superhero style, giving you the feeling as if you can fly. I talked with Winston Lewis, who's a UNLV senior and operator for the ride on this multi-million-dollar project.
This job helped me by gaining more knowledge on Vegas in general. I mean, there's so many facts about Fremont Street that a lot of people don't know about. This specific company was built a year ago, and since then we've made the zoom line, which is the line where you're laying down, we've made that taller, and it originally was about 85 feet. We've expanded it to 118 feet now, and it's one of the largest attractions here in Vegas. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it a lot, and I think our customers enjoy it a lot because we're still here after years.
UNLV students who work at Slotzilla are offered career advances that coincide with their degree.
There are 6 students that work here. A lot of people don't know Slotzilla provides a lot of job opportunities for communications majors, especially if you're looking for PR, going into public relations, which is what I'm looking to go into. It gives a great opportunity for that inside of Fremont, not just Slotzilla.
The ride operates all day and goes by periods of time, so you can go with the people that you came with. It also allows you to record while in the air, which is something else that separates it from other zip lines.
One of the other options are pictures. We give you an opportunity to take a picture with our giant slot machine. We give our customers an opportunity to record themselves while going down the zip line. I've lost count how many times I've rode this ride. Strap on and just fly down, you know. And each time it's the same adrenaline as I had the first time I did it, so I love it.
Whether you'd like to work for the company or just to go to enjoy, students are always welcome at Slotzilla. I'm Jordan Lorenzo. Back to you guys in the studio.
The Slotzilla is open from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. and it costs $20 for the lower zip line and $40 for the upper zip line that takes you the entire length of Fremont Street. Local organizations around Nevada are doing what they can to raise awareness of bullying. Our reporter Eddie Vargas has the story.
Game that the bullies like to play. It involves my book bag being thrown into the community pool. They did it so
Bullying has become a big problem all over the country in recent years. According to studies by Yale University, bully victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds in the United States. Bullying-related suicides in Las Vegas have raised the awareness of parents, teachers, and students in our community. Former Metro Police Officer R. Byron Stringer knows the severity of this issue, and for this reason, he has created toe tag monologues.
Nobody's really telling us what to do to save our kids. And that's why I've written the toe tag monologues, to send out the message that there is hope, that you don't have to end your life, that you don't have to follow the crowds, that you can be a leader, not a follower, that you are unique, you're not a mistake, and you are loved.
Toe tag monologues present real life and death situations children face every day, such as school violence, bullying, and self-esteem issues. If you know anyone that is a victim of bullying, report it online to the Clark County School District. Reporting for Studio G, Eddie Vargas.
Toe tag monologues are committed in making a difference in our community and have been performed all around Las Vegas high schools. A little bit of shimmying, a little bit of seduction left audience members cheering at Las Vegas Burlesque Festival over the weekend.
Here tonight at the Gold Coast with the Las Vegas Burlesque Festival. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
The Gold Coast held the 3rd annual Las Vegas Burlesque Festival over the weekend. Performers got glammed up to compete for titles including Best Burlesque Performance by a Visiting Individual and Best Performance by a Visiting Group. Many may have the wrong impression of what burlesque actually is.
We definitely struggle with in the burlesque community is educating people what burlesque is. A lot of people are really afraid. They think it's something you might find in a strip club, but it's a lot closer to something you might find in a theater. Every burlesque performance tells a story.
Once a ballroom dancer, Scarletta Sparkle has now been doing burlesque for 4 years.
The night you're performing, it's pretty much all business mode. You're getting your stuff together, you're rehearsing, you're practicing, and you don't actually get to appreciate everybody else's performances. There's a lot of camaraderie backstage and helpfulness, but you really don't get to see everybody. So tonight and tomorrow night, I actually get to watch the show, which is probably one of the highlights of the festival, is actually seeing everybody else's art in action.
The festival was created to let performers show their craft while getting feedback from the audience in a low-stress environment.
These events give the girls a chance to see how what they have visualized in their mind, does it really work? Or is it just a good idea, but it doesn't have any legs?
That you've been with. Be a lady with me. A lady never leaves her escort. It isn't fair.
I expect the audience to be walking out with smiles on their faces and happy little thoughts in their heads. I've never seen anybody leave a burlesque show unhappy. We really have a great time.
I'm Alexa Vita, and this is Studio G.
To see more, check out their Facebook page, Las Vegas Burlesque Festival, to see the photos from the event. Might just see me there. Coming up after the break, we will show you a place to eat where you may literally have a heart attack. Stay tuned.
Studio G, at first it looks overwhelming, and at first it looks like it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's the most beneficial class I've had at UNLV to date, without a doubt. You get to not only develop stories and work on your interviewing skills, your editing skills, and your shooting skills from a camera perspective, you get to work on all the equipment that's in the studio. So you're working on audio, you're working on directing, tech directing. You get to produce your own show. You can take a 30-minute newscast and make it your own. And that's really cool about Studio G. Like I said, a lot of it seems overwhelming at first, but it is by far the best class I've taken at UNLV since I've been here.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course! This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate! So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
This next story may have you heading to the gym. Reporter Deshola Balogan made a trip to a very unique restaurant.
In today's society, there are so many new health regimens and diet trends that you almost feel bad if you don't jump on the bandwagon. But there's one place that wouldn't dare join the crowd.
I'm Dr. John, the founder of the branch of medicine known as Burgerology. I own the Heart Attack Grill, which is an establishment that maybe is a restaurant, maybe is a clinic, and it's up for you to decide.
The Heart Attack Grill is a controversial restaurant that refers to its customers as patients, waitresses as nurses, and food orders as prescriptions.
We were blessed with the Guinness Book of World Records for the most caloric burger. Now, we don't count calories. It's entirely against everything we believe to count calories. But the Guinness Book of World Records, they quoted one of our burgers at 9,980 something calories.
There are also items on the menu like flatliner fries and onion rings that are cooked in pure lard.
We just recently added our beer battered, deep fried and lard onion rings, and they are heaven.
Everyone loves free, and customers can eat free at the Heart Attack Grill, but on one condition.
You could eat free at the Heart Attack Grill if you hop on our scale and demonstrate that you're over 350 pounds. We want to treat our best patients the absolute best. There's no gimmicks.
They might reward you for being overweight, but there are strong penalties for not finishing your meal at this restaurant.
I have to warn you, if you do come to the Heart Attack Grill, and if you have one of our burgers, you better finish it. Because if you don't, there are very, very dire consequences.
We spank you if you don't finish your food, and I mean, you get paid to spank people. It's great.
Many people would be surprised to find out that the Heart Attack Grill actually has a vegan menu.
There are no meat additives whatsoever in any of our tobacco products. They're all pure leaf tobacco and there's no meat. So that is our vegan menu.
You should come to the Heart Attack Grill because you're gonna get dinner and a show. You're not just gonna get a burger, you're not just gonna see somebody get spanked, you're gonna get all of it, and I guarantee you'll be telling everyone about it. Whether you love it or hate it, you're gonna talk about it.
For Studio G, I'm Deshola by Logan.
Be mindful of the health risk you take if you plan on eating at the Heart Attack Grill. It's called the Heart Attack Grill for a reason. Rebels showed off their talents at the Rebel Variety Show auditions in hopes of making it to the official event during homecoming week.
The Rebel Variety Show is basically a huge talent competition that we have during homecoming week that really accepts like any type of talent. So whether you're a singer, dancer, we've had drums before, taiko drummers, poetry, really anything's allowed to come and show their talent, not just singers.
This variety show is one of many that happens during homecoming week. It adds to the excitement of going to college and gaining school spirit.
This year I'm actually making a huge effort to try to get the entire campus to be involved because homecoming is not just for fraternity and sorority life, it's for everybody here on campus. I'm reaching out to a lot more student organizations. I'm also reaching out to like any students on campus. So I'm also talking to like offices that want to participate. Really anybody and everybody I want to get involved in homecoming this year.
For more information on homecoming and how you can participate, check out the website at unlv.edu/homecoming. The 8th annual Choreographers Showcase takes place this weekend at Treasure Island. Reporter Taylor Carter gives us an inside look at the show.
Ballet Theater and Cirque du Soleil performers are collaborating for a one-of-a-kind experience called a Choreographers Showcase. The pieces feature a unique combination of dance styles and performers.
The unique opportunity to mix disciplines, and when I've done this in years in the past, I've used acrobats and ballerinas together, and this year I just really wanted to get a strong, theatrically bold piece, so I put the clown with all the ballerinas.
My dancer, Lindsay, is from CAW, and she is absolutely fantastic. She's a gymnast and tumbler, so in her featured episode, she does.
The last performance is Saturday, October 18th. Don't miss out on the one-of-a-kind Performing Arts Center. After the break, we'll have Sally Ann Ficatora with our weather forecast.
When in doubt, go with Sally. You don't get to do an internship, you have to do an internship. It's one of the requirements for a journalism major is you have to do an internship before you can graduate.
Definitely having an internship as a requirement really helps push yourself out there and to just remind you that your graduation is coming up soon. You're going to have to need some work experience in your career. So it's really good to put yourself out there early on, and they tend to help students a lot more. So when you do a student internship, it really helps out a lot.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Hi everybody, I'm Sally Ann Ficarata with your weather today. It's currently 76 degrees out right now with 48% humidity. There's 40% chance that it's going to rain early on today. And we'll check in our high for today is going to be 88 degrees. And our low tonight is going to be 68. It's going to jump from a 40% chance of rain today and later on tonight, 60% chance. So more likely it's going to rain later on in the evening. Our high for tomorrow is just 77 degrees, starting to cool off finally. And let's check out our weather for the rest of the week. All right, so Saturday and Sunday this weekend, very likely to rain, 60% chance both days. On Sunday, also the possibility of a thunderstorm and lightning. Then as we get into Monday, less chance of rain, 10%, and then clear skies the rest of the week. It's going to be in the high 70s, low 80s, and cooling off in the nights from the high 60s down to the high 50s. So starting to clear up finally, some perfect weather finally coming in with clear skies out of the 90s. That's all for our weather today. I'm Sally Ann Ficarata. Have a great day, Rebels. The Earth is heating up, and professionals in climate change emphasize the importance of the generation of students. John Metzler sat in for UNLV press conference. Students asked questions about what is being done to prevent climate change. I did not know that was fucking coming.
Reducing, improving the fuel efficiency of vehicles is something the federal government's really pushing on here. So there's a lot of technologies happening across this space, and you can sort of see by what I'm saying as well, this is very much an economy-wide issue. I mean, in a sense, this reaches into everything, whether we're talking about the transport or we're talking about how you get electricity. I think the next level is sort of mobilising, whether it is trying to get, action at the university level, maybe is this university particularly, energy efficient? Are there alternative, more sort of green sources of energy that the university could be using? So there might be ways to mobilise and put pressure on administration.
The sharing economy has become more popular among students and the rest of the globe. Uber, Airbnb, Couchsurfing, and other apps have become more popular every day as people look for ways to reduce their carbon footprint and save money. Metzler says that he does not expect to see a jump in the effectiveness of the sharing economy towards climate change soon. But by the year 2030, we should begin to see more regulations on trade along with reductions in emissions. Some of the ways to reduce your carbon footprint are drinking out or out of reusable bottles, taking a bike ride instead of your car, or carpooling to work. All of these habits can help lower emissions in your area. Coming up, we'll have a review of the Democratic debate this week.
1960s up until about 2012, 2013. When I go on, just explain who it was, the name of the song, the name of the artist, maybe the name of the album, their career. I just hope that everybody enjoys it and appreciate it for the kind of music it is and how great it is. My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz on the rebelhd2.com.
UNLV is now in partnership with the electric car company Tesla in hopes of boosting its reputation. Eddie Vargas has the story.
Last week, the electric car company Tesla officially announced its formal research partnership with UNLV. This will be the start of a $1 million project funded by Tesla that will aim to improve operations and research. It will be a 5-year plan that will consist of 2 projects. The first will focus on the study of water use and recycling that will be led by UNLV engineers and scientists. The second will be conducted by UNLV chemists that will try to improve recycling of metals from lithium-ion batteries. Vice President of Tesla explains why the car company chose UNLV out of all the schools in the nation.
Well, UNLV has got a fantastic engineering and R&D capability here, and so it made a lot of sense to be partnering with UNLV, especially given the proximity to the manufacturing facility.
This project will bring more jobs to the state of Nevada, but more importantly, it will help elevate UNLV's reputation as a research institution.
There are going to be 6,500 jobs when that factory is eventually finished. So there's great opportunity. The average wage, I believe, is $25 an hour for each job, just at the entry level. So it's a good thing for Nevada.
Well, this is a significant partnership with Tesla. For us to achieve our top-tier goals, we need to be doing much more research than we're doing. We need to be looking for partners for contract research, exactly like we're doing with Tesla. And then it's also a project, as I said earlier, that will mean a lot not only for the state economically, but they're about to revolutionize the auto industry and perhaps the power industry as well. So this is very significant for us to be a part of this in terms of our impact on the state and our move to top tier.
The research done for this project will teach UNLV students new technology and will help the university climb higher in national college rankings. Reporting for Studio G, Eddie Vargas.
The project is scheduled for completion in 2017 with the hopes of taking UNLV to the next level. Well, that's pretty interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. No? We're not going to do it? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Who do you think won the debate? I'm thinking right now that it was Hillary, but I also think Bernie came in pretty close. The rest of them, O'Malley maybe, but the rest, I don't think they even stood a chance.
Hillary was hands down the winner for me. She just looked composed up there. She looked like she knew she was ready to absorb everything that was coming at her. She's fantastic.
And she handled the tough questions very well.
Yeah.
But she's had a lot of practice, so.
True.
More than anyone else. It's hard to decipher who wins a debate, but we are fortunate to have Jacob Thompson. Kyle sat down with the debate coach this week to get a better understanding of who successfully delivered their message.
The first Democratic debate of the 2016 presidential election took place right here in Las Vegas Tuesday night, and it was much anticipated. The debate was headlined by heavily favored Hillary Clinton, and she lived up to expectations, but Bernie Sanders may have just closed in on her. I talked to UNLV's own Jake Thompson, the director of the debate forum, on what he thought of the debate.
I thought the debate went really well. It was very civil. There were a lot of points of disagreement between the candidates that were illustrative of their various stands on positions, and I thought that overall it was a really exciting night for politics in the Valley. This debate appeared more civil than most of the Republican debates that I've seen so far. Some of the Republican debates, just because of the sheer number of people that were on the stage, kind of had the appearance of a little bit of disorder. They were a little chaotic. It almost seemed like a food fight. The Democratic debate was quite a bit more civil. It seemed like the candidates supported each other in many ways and disagreed respectfully.
Bernie Sanders had the most memorable quote of the night when he addressed Hillary Clinton's email scandal.
The secretary is right. And that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
If you're going to have a fantastic one-liner, it's got to help you, and it's got to make a difference, and it's got to distinguish you from your opponent. And in this case, I don't think it really did that. Sanders did a good job in this debate. I feel like he came in a very close second. The biggest concern for me related to Sanders is in this particular debate was his position on gun control and gun company liability. It doesn't jive well with the rest of the narrative that he's constructed about himself as a very progressive liberal, and so from that perspective it might cause some headaches for folks that would support him normally. I also feel like a lot of folks out there who are pro-Bernie thought that he redeemed himself pretty well. I would say that he could improve in form insofar as I think that Sanders has to go against what his personal convictions are, and I think that he's got to go on the attack against Hillary. I also doubt that it is likely that he will do that. He's had a long political career, and he's proud when he says that he's never run a negative political ad in his life, and I don't think that he's going to go on the attack in front of the largest national audience that he's ever been in front of.
Jake Thompson has a clear-cut winner of the debate, and it won't come as much of a surprise.
I'm comfortable saying that Hillary Clinton won this debate, and I think that Bernie Sanders was a close second. Hillary was on point most of the night. She scored points when she needed to. She had most of the memorable lines in the debate. I thought she effectively distinguished herself from some of the other candidates on important issues. And at points that she could have faced difficulty, she was effective at either eliminating that criticism or pivoting to another point. And the places where Sanders tried to distinguish himself from Hillary, Hillary was fairly effective at just kind of like taking his position and saying, oh, I'm pro that anyway, absorbing the things that Sanders was in favor of.
As for the other candidates in the debate,
let's face it, Chafee and Webb demonstrated that they're a sideshow at best in this debate, right? They both should fire their debate coaches if they haven't already. And they might consider suspending their campaigns after terrible, lackluster performances.
Thompson also has a good idea on who the nominee will be.
While it's illegal to gamble on politics, I'd be willing to stake a lot of money on her getting the nomination.
From Studio G, I'm Kyle Root. So, I think it's pretty interesting looking at a debate point of view on the debate rather than just like a bystander just watching it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. You did a great package, Kyle. And I'm sick of those damn emails too.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
It's beneficial to have an educational understanding of how debates should function. This debate had a more appropriate process compared to their political counterparts.
Well, yep, that's what we were just talking about. So that's it's pretty interesting. But I definitely think Hillary took it. So it'll be pretty interesting watching go forward to see how the other candidates respond to such a good performance by Hillary.
Yeah, and it's hard to say who really wins in debates like this because you'll have one news outlet saying one thing, one saying the other. But I think Hillary did win.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did the best job.
So yeah. Well, we've come to the end of our show, and next week there will be a new host for the Friday show, unfortunately.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in next week for another episode of our Friday magazine show. Have a good day, Rebels.
Have a good weekend.
Yep.